Hey guys, I'm at the mall near my house, Gulliver, where I bought probably like half of my home appliances. Like my TV is from here, my espresso machine is from here, a bunch of the stuff in my house is from here.
Yeah.
And this is the nicest mall in the city center of Kiev, and this is what it looks like now, guys.
There is a place in Russia where Western sanctions have been felt since day one: shopping centers. At first, there were huge lines as people scrambled to snap up their favorite American and European brands that were leaving Russia over the war in Ukraine. This was followed by grim photos of deserted malls and closed stores as the traffic in Russian shopping centers dropped by around 30%.
But wait, we're in Ukraine. There's no sanctions here. This isn't Russia. What's going on? Nick, where should we start? Well, what do you think used to be here?
Looks like kitchen appliances.
Yeah,
sort of.
there's one left.
There's some kettles, some tea kettles.
Here is the one bread maker. Here's the kettles, tea kettles.
Pots and pans.
There used to be literally like 50 tea kettles, and now there's 4. And this is where espresso machines used to be.
You still see the price tags.
No, this is just the beans.
This is just for the beans?
Yeah, $10 for a bag of beans. And I used to actually come, and I stopped by this booth and this one probably 100 times because I used to dream about getting a DeLonghi espresso machine, but it was too expensive.
Yeah.
And now I can't even buy it.
Glad you got what you did when you did, huh?
Yeah, but we skipped the craziest part. So imagine where you would buy your neighborhood appliances, whether it's like a refrigerator or a vacuum cleaner or something. Like maybe it's Best Buy, maybe it's Lowe's, maybe it's Home Depot. I don't know. Where do you guys buy things? But this is what we have now. There's a couple ovens there still. There's with 3 ovens. All right, range tops. And they look okay. And then empty, like just bare shelves. We have one discounted baking rack, like a bread pan. Nothing on the Samsung display anymore. And these are the only fridges left. So if you want a refrigerator, you have the choice of which fridge do you want for your house? If you had to choose.
If I had to choose, I'd probably go with the bigger one.
The bigger one?
The bigger one. Relatively the bigger one.
Oh my god.
And you can double as a seat.
Just you can stack that on top of this freezer. What happened, guys? Do they even have fridges anymore? It's sad because this was supposed to happen in Russia.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have like these sanctions hit Russia and have it fuck up their lives so they can protest and stop the war. But instead, it's happened here in Ukraine.
It's happened here, yeah.
And we don't have sanctions here.
Yeah, so this is Mozaika Shopping Center now. This is very much a suburban shopping center in Moscow. Now today is Monday afternoon, so it's gonna be quiet. So please be realizing there won't be the amount of people in here that we saw in video. Plenty of brands now.
So ever since the start of the war and sanctions being in place, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos of how sanctions are or are not affecting malls in Moscow and in Russia in general. And this video is the latest one I can find from a couple months ago from an electronics store. And you can see they have so many TVs in stock, so many brands in stock. And actually, I bought a Samsung monitor just about a month ago. I wanted a 4K monitor to edit videos, and luckily I didn't come here to El Dorado because there's literally 0 monitors, and there weren't that many online either. That's actually why I didn't go there. I ended up going to another store called Comfy, which had a bigger selection. If you go in there, in Kiev, it actually doesn't look abandoned like El Dorado does, but I can assure you that the selection is very limited and the stock is very limited. Because when I checked their stocks, they only had one of each monitor in stock. So actually you'd have to wait if you wanted to buy something that's more popular or someone had just bought that week. And I actually originally wanted a LG monitor, a 4K 27-inch LG monitor, but they were completely out of stock. And I said, well, what else do you have in 4K? And the sales guy actually said, I don't think we have anything. And I said, what about the Samsung? And he says, no, we haven't had that in months due to, supply chain issues. And I said, like, I checked, can you check online? I saw online that you guys have one. And he was shocked. He was like, oh, actually, we happen to have one. So I ended up getting a Samsung. But it was hard. It wasn't easy. There wasn't a lot of stock. So when you go into the stores, depending on which ones you go into, in Moscow, it looks like they have everything. Sometimes they have changed the actual brands of the store itself.
Welcome to Moscow.
But most of them are still operating. And a lot of brands just don't care, like Auchan or, these stores. They just keep opening. And there's just a lot more people. This is actually a very recent video. This is from just a few days ago in Moscow. And you can see it's packed. And more than that, you'll notice that people are actually buying things. People have shopping bags, which means they're actively buying items.
And Decathlon is planning to reopen in Russia under a different name.
I think the reason why there's so little inventory is, first, people have less money now. I mean, you still see people going out to restaurants and coffee shops, but very few people are actually spending money. Like walking around the mall, did you notice? I mean, there's people here, but did you notice?
Not very visible.
I'm the only one with the bag.
Yeah.
Like, this bag is the only shopping bag I've seen. So
Yeah.
we're the only ones who bought anything.
That's true.
Everyone else, they kind of just walk around. They might have a coffee or something.
Yeah.
They might hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might like have a coffee or something cheap, or food. People still go out.
Yeah, there were people in the food court. But
Yeah.
That's it.
But like no one's buying like clothes. No one's buying. Obviously, nobody's buying like home goods. Like,
Since the economy's not doing so hot.
yeah, and think about it. The risk of importing stuff and keeping it in stock,
Oh, yeah.
and then getting it bombed.
Yeah. And then that's just stock that's lost.
Yeah. So, and then the thing is, I think a lot of things also, if I'm not 100% sure, but I think a lot of things are, what do you call it? They're like first given by the manufacturer and then sold. Like, what's the word for it? Consignment? For they're not paying for it up front. Just like, for example, Samsung might just put a bunch of fridges and TVs just to have it in stock. And then when they sell, they get a profit for it.
Yeah.
But they don't want to risk that now. If you guys know any different, let me know. But that's what I'm kind of assuming could be. Yeah.
It would make sense.
Can we ask this guy?
Yeah.
Excuse me? What happened to all the inventory? Why is there no products?
Рады завод. Пока нет.
Пока нет. Just said there's not any.
When did it start?
Когда это началось?
Как война.
Война. When the war started.
Ой, война.
Это сейчас тяжелее, что отправить от другой страны или что?
Нету денег покупать.
So there's just no money for it.
And the customers are not buying.
Клиенты, у них нет денег закупить, да, или...
Нет, просто у нашей компании нет.
You said just their company doesn't have money
To buy inventory.
yeah.
But if there's no inventory, then the customers can't buy anything.
Yeah.
So the customers, do many customers come here and then just leave?
Товар.
Yeah, usually like basically when they come and if they want to buy something, then they have to order it.
But most things are still available online or no?
У вас продукты на онлайн или только можно заказ на онлайн? Yeah.
But maybe some brands are not available or everything's available?
Все продукты на онлайн?
Ну, так само.
Так само.
Как здесь.
So it's like the same as here.
Oh, so not so many items.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Oh, wie bitte. Putin Hulo. And are you worried about your job because there's no business?
Ну да. Если не будет бизнеса, не буде роботи.
Yeah, he said yeah.
Okay. Good luck. Sorry.
Бачите, так мало людей.
And,
Okay. Ooh. It's crazy, right?
yeah, it's crazy.
Like, it should happen in Russia. How do you say this?
Это должен проходиться в России. Это такой. Это должен быть в России. Бизнес.
Yeah. No Russia, no mana.
Да, да.
No rockets, yeah.
No, he said there. It seems like it's better.
In Russia,
Russia right now.
yeah, I think in Russia, like, it's no business as normal.
Yeah.
So, maybe I'll link in some clips from like people making videos in Russia, like Russian YouTubers, showing what shopping's like. There's some things that have less inventory or they substitute some brands, but it's nothing like this, guys. Like, Ukraine has become a ghost town. Like, look at these TVs here, guys, or lack of TVs. This is where I bought my TV. I literally bought my TV right here, and there was so many of them. And like, imagine your Best Buy or whatever it is, and it's just like, where's the TVs? Like, there's no inventory anymore. Like, there's not even display units anymore. Sony, where's Sony? Here's Sony, where's Samsung? All we have left are like a few kind of expensive, overpriced Kiev, some Chinese thing, mostly Kiev.
So I did a little research, and Kiev is actually a Ukrainian brand that's made by MTC Shenzhen in China, which is a contract manufacturer. They make TV sets for other brands like Philips, Haier, and Xiaomi, but the actual brand and design is Ukrainian, which is why it's the only one that is in stock. It's ironic that the world tried to cut off Russia from outside companies like Samsung or Sony or LG, yet here in Ukraine, or at least at this store, the only thing that's available is the locally made ones.
It's all Kiev TVs now. I don't even know what.
Kiev TVs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are. No name brands.
Yeah. What did he say?
Oh, I just said that, like, we were telling him that we were discussing sanctions and that this sort of thing should be happening in Russia. And he's like, well, I think it's actually better now there than it is here.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's like, Ukraine just doesn't have the technical like stuff to keep their companies going and stuff. So
that's bad.
It's not money. So and people don't want to put money into the economy if there's risk of being bombed. So.
Oh man. That's crazy, guys.
Like Russia, even though there's sanctions, they're not really being bombed in Russia.
Yeah, so it's still safe to put money there. That's crazy. Relatively. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, sure. You still see some people buying, like, I mean, you always see people in supermarkets that need to eat, but no shopping bags, guys. Look. What did she buy? Just a little home gift or something? That's probably not expensive.
It looks like shaving material.
Yeah. So whenever you guys see videos of Ukrainians living a good life, still going out, it's good for their economy. But when you see like big purchases, like TVs and things like that, it's just not happening. Like, there's literally not a TV to buy. Like, let's want to buy this Kiwi.
I mean, also this is a grocery store, so it's like not essential materials, but stuff that it's not like a TV. TV's a luxury.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this, guys. These are, I think, smartwatches, maybe, or were smartwatches. And look, oh my God, can you believe it? They put this in that sort of box. This is just a
stand,
a phone stand. It's crazy.
I mean, I guess they're just concerned about it.
Yeah, no Samsung watches. There's no games. Look, this is all the PlayStation games there are. There's like one copy of Mafia Far Cry 6. That one's probably pretty new. Ghost. And then what's on this one? That's it. This one PS5 game.
I mean, they're doing their best to make it look like they're still, you know.
But it's crazy.
It looks like it got ransacked.
Yeah. This looks like downtown San Francisco or somewhere in California after a bunch of people looted it and the police weren't able to do anything about it.
After the riots.
Yeah, well, not even riots. It's like every day, like at least here, there's a reason why there's no inventory. There's a reason why things are messed up. I feel like in California, things are fine. Like there's super low unemployment right now. Everybody can get a job. Minimum wage now is super high. It's like, isn't it like $15 an hour now? Yeah. So you could get a job. All right. I know costs of living are high, but there's no reason why people need to loot Louis Vuitton or break into people's cars or loot like Walgreens in the stores. It just, you know, like it's a completely different mentality in society. Like I'd rather be here and not have anything than be there and not have anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Millions of Californians will return to work this new year with a pay bump. A minimum wage increase went into effect. The minimum wage for hourly employees in California, it's now $15.50. In Pasadena, the minimum wage, also the city of Los Angeles, it's a little over $16. Malibu, $15.96. West Hollywood, $17.95.
Violence in the workplace, like retail theft, it's becoming more and more common. Now, a bill in the Capitol aims to curb that by requiring employees across the state to receive training and prohibit employers from making staff that are not security guards confront suspects.
Webster testified on behalf of Senate Bill 553, which OSHA, which regulates workplace standards, only has violence guidelines in place for hospitals. Rob Mutri with the California Chamber of Commerce said this bill is taking those guidelines and applying it to businesses of all sizes across the state. Hopes they'll wait for OSHA, which is in the process of creating guidelines for businesses.
I mean, also there they'll be like, oh, it's supply chain issues and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's like supply chain issues.
This is real. Yeah, this is economics 101.
Supply chain issues.
Somebody can show this in an econ class. Like, this is what happens.
The transport hubs are being bombed. Like that's supply chain issues.
And insurance. Nobody wants to risk,
like
like putting brand new like computers in. You know, there's a couple keyboards left. I hate these. I like the clicks, but I hate the color, by the way. But yeah, there's not going to be a ton of like brand new laptops or anything. There's a few that you can buy. That's expensive. It's like $1,000 exactly. Oh, I guess they're $1,000. But I wouldn't want any of these. There's no Apple store here or anything. Like these shelves are just empty. There's not. You know what? There's not even a single computer monitor.
There's not even what?
A single computer monitor. There's no
laptops, no monitors.
Yeah, and it's like this brand 2E. It's probably some Chinese brand or local brand.
Asus.
Yeah, Asus is good. Like this is like literally the only laptop I would even think about buying.
Yeah.
Like a Chromebook or something.
There's some nice headsets still, at least.
There's gaming headsets.
Tech, yeah.
There's probably left over from before war.
Probably.
Apple authorized retailer. Which iPhone is this? At least they have that. This is a 14128 for a little bit over $1,000.
I'm actually gonna buy a little mouse pad because my friend who sent my suitcase from Georgia forgot my mouse pad.
And you can support the economy.
And I can support the economy, so a good deed, and I get something that I need.
And there you go. Good job. Nice. You get his commission. Make sure he's doing his job, you know? They're scarce.
Sales are scarce here. They're fighting for it.
Fighting for a mouse pad sale, right? He wants to support the economy, so he's buying something. So while we're in the store, I'm really happy with my buddy Nick. He has a YouTube channel. You can check it out as well, link below. And he speaks way better Russian and Ukrainian than me, so he's able to help translate. Check it out. How much was that?
129 hryvnia.
Okay, he's supporting economy a little bit here and there.
A little bit. I mean,
that's a nice box for like a $5 mouse pad.
Yeah, well, I looked at it, I was like, it's gonna be the most expensive one, and then I was like, oh, it's actually not bad.
Yeah, there you go.
$4, something like that.
And what have you been using prior to this?
I've been using an old T-shirt, so it's pretty.
As a mouse pad?
As a mouse pad, yeah.
That's ghetto.
It's so ghetto. Oh man! Thanks, Zach, for getting my mouse pad in Georgia. Appreciate it.
Sarcastically. You owe him 129 hryvnia.
Yeah.
No.
I'll deduct that for the money that he
saved you by not having to fly back to Georgia.
Yeah, true.
By the way, the reason why Nick is still here is I convinced him not to fly all the way back to Tbilisi just to pick up his luggage. I just have his stuff shipped here.
Yeah, and unfortunately I had a friend who was still living in Tbilisi that could send it, because otherwise it would have been like low ball $600 to go back there.
Well, good, and like 60 hours every time.
Oh yeah.
Because like how'd you have gotten out?
I would have to take the train, go to Poland, probably Warsaw. Warsaw, fly in some way to get to Tbilisi, probably connect in Istanbul. And who knows, like the cheapest one could have been a long flight, lots of layovers. And then same thing back to Poland, train back to Lviv, all the way back to Kiev.
That would have been insane.
Would have been insane.
So, thank you to his buddy Zach for
Thanks, Zach.
packing up his stuff and shipping it.
You're a real stand-up guy.
Ended up being $100, so we had $105.
Yeah.
I got his new mouse pad out of it.
Yeah, not bad. So, not bad. That, I'm like, man, like, because $600, like I was estimating, like that's low ball.
Yeah.
Absolute minimum.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more.
Yeah.
Like.
So you saved a ton.
Yeah, I saved a ton. And time.
Yeah, and time. It's important. So there's definitely people walking around, but almost nobody is actually buying anything.
Well, thank you for watching, and if you want to buy something that's going to help directly on the front lines in Ukraine, check out the campaign. A big thanks to everybody who has donated to the NAFO campaign, where we are buying a pickup truck for the frontline battalion. Not the 69th Sniffing Brigade, that's actually the company that helps make these, but actually it's going to be for the 80th Air Assault Brigade, the 3rd Battalion.
We are 80th Brigade of the 3rd Amphibious Assault Battalion. We need a pickup truck for our scouting. We kindly ask Johnny FD and his subscribers, NAFO community and charity fund 69th Sniffing Brigade to help us. Slava Ukraini!
Big thank you to everybody who has already bought one of the patches. The campaign has actually done really well so far, with only 2 videos that have mentioned it. This is the 3rd video, and we've actually already gotten 42 donations. So thank you so much for those 42 people who have donated. We are almost halfway at our goal. Let's try to at least get halfway. If you haven't picked up one of these limited edition patches yet, you can get yourself a NAFO 69th Sniffing Brigade patch with this awesome Shiba Inu, or you can get a limited edition Mongolian Warlord patch. And all this, 100% of it, goes towards the vehicle. It's all collected by Help 99 and through NAFO 69th Sniffing Brigade. You can check them out. They've done a lot of great work with some other YouTubers, including Arthur Ray. And I promise you, I will show you the cars getting delivered as soon as we reach the goal and we get it. So I'm really excited to see all this come through.
We bought evac medicine packs, and Ragnar also wanted to make an armored car. We had some extra money, so of course.
So thank you so much for everyone who's donated and for everyone who's watching. Slava Ukraine.